Hey guys, welcome to another video. This is actually part 2 of a 3-day. So the first part, we just highlighted the Cabo turn, got the opportunity to fly with our assistant chief, gave you guys some good information on that. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. The second part of the video is going to be the finishing of this 3-day trip. It covers the course of 2 days. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit long. Hope you guys are okay with that. But there was a lot of things that went on this this other part of the trip, the second half of it, the 2-day, that I wanted to cover. We got pre-flight. We've got a lot of turbulence out there. We'll cover some SIDS on the departures on some of these airports and engine out procedures, all that kind of good stuff. So really action-packed, a lot of information in there that I was trying to get across. I hope you guys enjoy it, and without further ado, let's start the video. Good morning, everybody. It is a foggy morning out here in San Diego. So today is going to be one of those days of flying. So we have a takeoff alternate of Ontario here for those of you that are doing your instrument and all that good stuff. We also have an alternate out of Oakland of San Diego. So what that basically means is the weather is at such a point where if we take off, we have a problem, we have to proceed to an alternate. We wouldn't come right back into the runway. And then out there in Oakland, if there was an issue, you know, getting into Oakland, we would go to our alternate if we couldn't get in. So that's what they plan us when the weather gets to a certain point or there's certain operational constraints at the airport. That's what happens. Looking at the WSI, we have a turbulence plot. On takeoff 32 to 37, we're going to go up to 40,000 feet today. That there. And then descending into Oakland, we've got another one, 27 to 35. So we're going to have about that much of good times, and that's not guaranteed to be good times. So I'm expecting probably, you know, pockets of light chop in between these two big pockets. So that's going to be the day today. The next leg after that is going to be over to Denver. So we'll look at that, but probably the same deal. You know, this is kind of how it works, you know, being in the aviation industry. Every day is not the same, you know. You don't go to the cubicle and punch on a computer for 8 hours. You're actually having to maneuver through the weather. We've got a lot of operational constraints out here too. That's what it's like, you know. Every day is not the same, so that's what makes it interesting. But again, you know, you just have to work through those challenges. Whether you're in training right now, you're getting beat down on your instrument, or whatever you're doing, hang in there, because this is what happens once you get out to the line and you're doing your real job. It's just the same. So all that stuff that you're learning now, you know, take it to heart. All right, I'm gonna go out and do the walk around and then get back up and get back at it. I almost forgot one most important thing. I have a printer today, guys. We're flying an ETOPS airplane up to Oakland. They're probably repositioning it. I'm not sure if we're keeping the airplane. I haven't looked yet, but most likely getting back up to Oakland because Oakland does a lot of our ETOPS Hawaii flying. So that's the deal today, but I'm pretty happy. I get to print stuff out. I feel like an Airbus pilot. All right, guys, we've talked about this a little bit. Just prior to going outside, I put the lights on and do a lights check. So as you can see, checking the wingtip, mainly the lights down there on the landing for now. So now that I confirmed that the landing lights and the taxiway light, everything works, give a hit, tap on the side of the airplane, and the captain turns off the lights. That's just another way that we check the lights, make sure it's all good, and then continue with the rest of our deal. That way it's not on the whole time and blinding people that are out loading the airplane and all that good stuff. All right, guys, we just finished the walk around downstairs, so I'm going to turn off the strobe, logo, anti-collision, and the wing. So the anti-collision light is what I showed you on the ground, that red blinking light. There's also one up on top. So prior to engine start, I'll go ahead and turn that on, and then I'll configure our packs, make sure we got good duct pressure, and then I'll start the engines. Thanks. So that's pretty much how you start the engines on an airplane. There's no key. There's just basically maneuvering valves, so we get the air pressure from our APU, which is started before, and that turns the turbine in there, the turbine blades. So the air blows on it, turns the turbine blades. We wait till we get to 25%-ish on the N2s, and then we'll apply the gas to the engine on the start levers, is what they're called. So, you know, engine 1 and engine 2, you just pull that up and put it up to idle. You'll see on here fuel flow will start to come through, and then we'll see light off on the EGTs, and those will start to come on. Unfortunately, I can't show you because what's the rule? Once this light comes off, we not can show you nothing. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. You'll see it in the series. I'll show you engine starts in there all day long, but I need to keep my job here. So that's kind of what happens on the engine start. So hope you guys enjoyed it. We're gonna get going, and we're finishing loading up the airplane. They've already loaded up all the bags, so we're gonna do our brief together and then get on at it. All right, guys, we just got our clearance. It's via CPDLC. So none of the old school way. We got the technology today. So we're gonna do the Padres 2 to Orzo, then as file. We're climbing via the SID, and we'll expect 400 in 10 minutes. We got 19.6 for departure and a squawk of 2054. So put that in, 2054, sitting there. So I responded back, so they've got the response knowing that we heard the clearance, or we got the clearance, we understand it, and we sent it back. So the departure out of here, we're gonna be taking off on runway 27, which is kind of standard. Climbing via the SID, so our top altitude is 15,000 feet out of San Diego International. And you'll notice on this chart, there's several different airports that this SID covers. So if you're flying out of Montgomery Field, which I've flown out of quite a bit, they have instructions to get onto the SID as well. So we're using San Diego International. Those are going to be our instructions to get out. This is the graphical depiction of it, and we're going to be ending at Orzo, which is right there. So we'll brief this up, mainly the altitudes, the points, making sure that those are in the box and that we both understand it, and it matches the release, and everything matches. So we're going to get to that and then get out of here, because we have about, well, probably go about 5 early, so we have about 10 minutes before push. So here we go. All right, guys, leg 1 is done. There's the time. You're welcome. An hour and 24 minutes in there, 7.6 on the gas. We're gonna unfortunately have to leave this airplane and go to another one, so we'll do another pre-flight on that guy. But got our paperwork here, gonna do that. We have about an hour and something?
Hour 5, yeah.
Typically about an hour 5 for a plane change, which doesn't give us a whole lot of time. So we're gonna clean this up, head over to the other airplane, do a full pre-flight on that, and then we'll head off to Denver, which is the last leg. So we'll see you in a minute. All right, guys, we just got our clearance. You see the ATC prompt here, tells us our clearance is in. So here's our clearance. We're cleared to Denver Airport via the Oakland 5, Oakland. Comply with the 4 DME crossing restriction, and then as filed. Climb via the SID, except maintain 190. So let's break down this part right here. There's a 4 DME restriction. If we look on here off runway 30, this is the Oakland 5 departure. Climb on heading of 296, radar vectors. So it's a vector SID, which is great, but there is a crossing restriction, which is probably missed by some people, which is why they're telling us on our clearance to make sure we do it. The crossing restriction is 4 DME northwest of Oakland. We need to cross it between 1400 and 2000. So we can't bust the 2000. 1400 will be good. We've got 2000 set on our altitude there. I've highlighted it on here, just a reminder. Again, we have the altitude set here. Our squawk is, or expect 390 in 10 minutes, and our departure of 35.1. Again, you know me, just double check. NorCal departure, that's different. So what I can do on this, I can write it on here. So 135.1 is on that. That way, again, we don't get lost in the departure netherworld. Oh my gosh, I don't know what departure frequency I'm supposed to be on. So that's the deal on that. Our squawk is 6346. We'll dial that in. And we'll accept it. And we got the Roger response. So again, ATC knows that we've got the clearance. We understand it. We acknowledged it back to them. We'll dial this stuff in. We do have an engine out on here. It's VFR out, but in lieu of vectors, we'll head out to the 7.7 DME out of Oakland, and I put that in our fix page, so it should pop up. But again, once you're if you're flying out and it's IMC, you lose a motor, you want all the cues that you can possibly get. Set yourself up for success. So we'll have a 7.7 DME ring out there, and once we hit that, we'll make a turn back to the VOR, which is 16.8. So I'll put that on there, 16.8. That's in the active section. I'll make sure my VOR2 is up on that selector panel. That way at 16.8, 7.7 DME, again, just another cue for us, you know, because if things happen, the penguins on your iceberg in your mind, they're falling off the iceberg because we have to load some more penguins on there. If that analogy makes sense to you. You're just kind of helmet fire, you're trying to get things done, run checklist. You just need all the cues you can to make yourself successful in that. And that's one of the cues that I use. 7.7 will head back to the Oakland VOR. By then, hopefully we'll get vectors from Oakland and head back into the airport. It's VFR out today, so if we do have a problem, we'll come back here. We have maintenance, and then we can get our passengers off to other destinations if we have to bring the airplane back. So that's kind of what goes on the planning portion of it, at least for this leg. If we look at the weather chart here, you can see we've got several different turbulence plots, and it's actually updating right now too. So right now 27 to 36, we're going to 390. There's one, you can see multiple charts here, there's two of them. 32 to 39, that's going to be right at our altitude. 32 to 39, another one there. Going across the Rockies, going into Denver, there are several of them there, to include a SIGMET as well. And this is terrain-induced turbulence enhanced by mountain waves. So we could expect mountain wave activity out there. This is occasional light to moderate turbulence, 9,000 to 180. So we just know descending into Denver, it's always like this. We always typically have turbulence on the way in. So we'll make sure our flight attendants are seated, make sure our passengers are seated on the way into Denver, and actually getting out of here at Oakland too. So we've got a nice hour and 43 minutes out there, so there's plenty of time to do service. We'll make sure our flight attendants are down and seated for basically the departure and then the arrival in there. So that's it. That's our plan. That's the leg for this one. It's always changing. Again, 39,000 feet. They're expecting some turbulence there, so we may go up a little bit higher. So we'll double check that we have the performance to do that. And you know, we're just audible as needed. So, all right, guys, here we go, Denver. All right, guys, we are here in Denver. The weather, as we always say in Denver, if you don't like it, wait 5 minutes. It's gonna change. So here's our flight time. We blocked in 2 hours 22 minutes. We actually landed top of the hour. We waited for a gate almost 30 minutes. It's just what happens. Starting to get a little bit busy out there. So gate space is usually at a premium at different airports. So this flight coming in was definitely really bumpy. We had from 200 down to the runway was basically continuous moderate. Coming in, you could see it just visually. I wish I could have taken a picture or something to show you guys. They had lenticular clouds down at the lower altitudes by the mountains, so we knew it was going to be rough. It was. Coming through 20,000 feet, almost all the way down. We got a little bit of relief below 9, but just as advertised, you know, we get PIREPs just so the guys behind us know what's going to happen. We did get in 30 minutes early. That's due. We had a 177 knot tailwind, so that was super awesome. But which means we got here super early, which means you held out for a gate. So it happens. But we're going to clean up the airplane, give it off to the other crew, head to the hotel, and we're done for the day. So we'll see you here in a little bit. All right, guys, in the room here at the Westin at Denver. It's actually a really, really nice hotel. I enjoy staying here. Look at that view. The view on final. One of our planes coming in. The weather's getting pretty crazy, actually. The winds are kicking up. Super turbulent, like I said. just coming in, but just walking that little spot to come in here, the winds, you could tell, just really kicked up. But anyways, nice hotel. Westin always does a really good product. I used to love staying at Westin's when I was on the road. Anywhere I was on the road or traveling for myself, they were always a really good hotel chain. But anyways, I'm gonna warm up some food, eat it, wait a little bit, and then go hit the gym. And that's pretty much it. We have a long overnight, 17 hours today, which is always nice when you're in a really nice hotel. So if you stay here by chance, there is the train station right down below. It'll take you all the way to the city of Denver, downtown. But just be careful because I think they stop early. So it's a pretty expensive Uber ride to get back, so I'm told. All right, guys, we will see you in the morning. I'm gonna get my overnight on, and yeah, we'll see you in the morning. All right. Alright guys, good morning. We are back at the airport here in Denver. Thankfully, the weather is nice outside. So no snow, it's just a little bit chilly, but the biggest thing is no snow. When we go do the walk around, obviously we're going to check for any frost or anything on the airplane. If there is, we're going to have to de-ice, which is not a big deal. They'll pull off into one of the de-ice pads. They'll put heated type 1 on us, knock off all the frost and everything off the airplane, and then off we go. So as you can tell, it's an originator. It's the last originator for the trip. It is day number 3. We're going home, so very excited about that. I like to grab in the seat because muscle memory, believe it or not, it's a real thing. If I try to do it from the jump seat, a lot of times I can't find the switch. So one day when I do upgrade, that seat is going to be a little different, but check that out. The way we steer the airplane, we don't have one on this side, which is the FO side. So only captain gets to drive the airplane, and it's with that little handle down there, which is pretty cool. Flying the tanker and the Air Force, we had the same handle, and in the C5, believe it or not, we had like a little small round handle with a knob on top, so you can turn it, 360 degrees. So tanker's a little bit different with the Boeing. Just another way to drive the airplane. All right, guys, just did the walk around. Looks like there's a little bit of frost out there. So what we could do is double check the wings, and we typically do this on our airplane when we suspect frost or snow or anything that's kind of out there. We'll just go back here. And as you can see on the tip of the wing, there's frost, and there's frost down kind of the back half of that leading edge. So yep, we got frost. So what that means is we're going to de-ice. We're going to apply heated type 1 on the frosted areas, get that frost off, and then we'll be on our way. So much like everything else on our iPads, we have an app that will help us do our de-icing, anti-icing calculations. It actually does it for us. So we can calculate holdover time if it was actually snowing outside, but as you can see, it's clear in a million out there. So we can run through that. It gives us an accurate countdown timer and all that good stuff now. That's actually new for us. We used to have down here, we used to run it manually through cards down there. So we would go out, we would check the ATIS, find out what kind of snow it is, what the intensity is, and then we would calculate timing there. So now, getting with the 21st century, right? We've got an app for it, got an app for everything. A lot of different ways that we're continually improving the process to make sure that we're a lot more accurate, a lot more safe moving forward. So that's just one of the things that you think about during wintertime ops. And we have frost. So we're gonna get back at it, load the box. We'll go over, show you guys what the route is and our clearance to Phoenix, and then we'll be on our way. All right, guys, we just got our clearance. Again, ATC prompt tells us that we have a clearance in the system. I just push the ATC button and it comes up. So we're cleared to Phoenix via the Summer 2 DADE, then as filed. Fine via the SID.
We'll expect 400 in 10 minutes, and our departure frequency is 12845, the squawk 3714. 714 is in there, so we'll accept that. And we'll set that up just for our brief. So summer 2 date, summer 2 date. Again, the weather is really nice. Here's what it looks like on our little map. Out of Denver, a little bit of cloud action. We do have one turbulence plot. That's from 32 to 39. We're going to be at 40, as you can see, but we're going to have to descend into that because going into Phoenix. So we expect light to occasional moderate on our descent. We let our flight attendants know, hey, first part of the flight's going to be pretty decent, and clean up early and we'll get them seated just so, you know, keeping them safe on our way into Phoenix. Phoenix, actually another beautiful day down there. Right now it's just a gorgeous 59 degrees. We got a few wispy clouds up there at 25,000 feet and light winds, so always a tease to go back to your home base and then have to leave again. So we'll head down there and then we'll do a Boise turn after that, and then we'll be done for the day, probably finishing around 5 o'clock or so. But that looks like it. If we scan it out and look at Boise up there, really nothing going on. So just a little bit of clouds out there, but other than that, looks great. So let's go to Phoenix. Maybe grab a burrito there. All right, guys, we're here. Nice and easy. Had to get some de-ice out of there, like we talked about. So that delayed us a little bit. We got in, actually, we got in right on time. We're supposed to be here at 15 after. We're here 15 after. So de-icing didn't impact us too much, I guess. Flight times are getting ready to come in once they open up the door. So the requirements are this parking brake to be on and the door to open. That's when we'll get our end times. And right at 17:15, 6K of gas on board. Took us 2 hours and 12 minutes. That's it. It's burrito time. I'm gonna go get a breakfast burrito. All right, guys. Got the burritos. Unfortunately, they only had chorizo, so, you know, not being a guy that's being too picky, I just grabbed the chorizo and the salsa. So, Barrio Cafe here at Terminal 4. If you haven't tried them out, they're actually really good. You know, prices are what they are. It's an airport. We've got an hour and 40 minutes before we go, which is a tremendous amount of ground time. But you know, we'll get the airplane ready and head on up. All right, guys, we are getting prepared. Loading bags out there right now, and I am going to start loading the performance weight and balance. So back in here on our ACARS menu, go ahead and grab the performance weight and balance, our takeoff conditions. Put the jet plan in, I put our runways in, I put our gradients and altitudes in. Dry, all that looks good, so we'll send that away. Get a takeoff request accepted, that means we are good. There, oh, yep, we saw it. It was there just for a split second. But so that's got sent off. We got our departure set up here. We have an engine out on this runway, so at 6 DME, we'll head south to 165. Kind of technique, 165 goes in here, and I put a 6 DME circle around there, and that's by way of pressing the fix button. Put Phoenix in there and a 6 DME, so that kind of lines up there. Again, if something happens, you want all the tools at your disposal, and just looking down and seeing that little ring, I know once we hit that, we make a turn to 165, and we'll get radar vectors from there and come back into Phoenix, just in case we have something happen. Looks like just straight up over Salt Lake patio is the fix out there, but we do have one turbulence plot, 32 to 39, slight occasional moderate. We are going to 40, but if you noticed, we are descending. We'll be descending into Boise at that time. We pull up the Boise weather. And here's what Boise is doing right now. They got variable winds. Right now, temperature right at 32 degrees. It's VFR out there. Clear skies. So, looks good over there in Boise. That's the plan so far. Once we get our ATC clearance, I'll show you what that's all about and get it all set up. Head on out. Second of the third leg. So, one more before we can say one more. All right, guys, we did get our route from clearance. Here we are, Quakey 1 to Grand Canyon as filed, 8,000 feet. Got that dialed in right there. We'll expect 400 in 3 minutes. And after departure, 19.2 is the departure frequency. Squawk of 4154, that is dialed in right there. And we responded with the Wilco. They know it. We look at the high chart here. The navigation, basically crossing a few ATC deals. So this is basically Albuquerque Center. You've got Denver Center. Oops. You've got Denver Center right in here, Salt Lake Center, and LA Center. So when you're going through different center frequencies, it's kind of what happens. You know, they tell you to contact LA Center on this frequency. Well, we can kind of keep track of it as we go along our route. And if we start getting close to a boundary, we haven't heard anything, we should expect a frequency change. So we'll bounce between LA Center and Salt Lake. We won't pretty much, well, this is Albuquerque Center, but we won't get into Denver Center. So that's another tidbit. So, all right, we are off to Boise. All right, guys, we are here in Boise. Nice day out there. A little partly cloudy. A little bit bumpy on the way in. Did about 2 hours, 9 minutes our block time. So with all the taxi and all that, that's kind of the deal. Here's the flight heading back as planned. So we still got the turbulent spot right here from 32 to 39. And then just a little one right by Phoenix. They're calling moderate, 33 to 39, but we'll be descending hopefully in there. Always got to be kind of careful, you know, these aren't exact, so you just kind of expect, hey, if it's close by, we can expect that. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go grab a coffee real quick. I need one more to get back home. Last leg. And yeah, I'll show you the clearance on that. It's Boise, so we don't have CPDLC or anything like that. We'll have to grab it the old-fashioned way. And we'll show you that as well. All right, soon to be. All right, guys, we are getting ready to head on out. I told you we're going to do things the old-fashioned way, where there's 3 ways to actually get our clearance. The old-fashioned way is via clearance delivery, and you know, we get on the radio and get it that way. The second old-fashioned way was ACARS, because the newest way, as you know, we use the ATC button and we log into CPDLC, which is another way to track the airplane and all that good stuff. Today we're just going to use the ACARS, which is called PDC. Most airplanes have that. So we're going to go into menu, data link, ACARS, pre-flight, no, I know, and then PDC requests. So request that. It's flight 210, Boise back to Phoenix. It's queue sending, so it should have come up. It's probably sitting there waiting for it. And there we go. It's flight 210. We're going to go Boise to Phoenix, PDC. So that's our squawk right there of 3122. 3122 in there. Boise, we're 737. 370. Okay, so Boise, War Lions, Crypto, winning. So it looks like they changed up our route just a little bit. All right, looks like it's the same route. So just double checking. I've got Roar, Lions, Crypto, winning, Q35 Corker, Tenets, and then the Bruiser 1 into Phoenix. So erase that. That's what it looks like it says there, so we're good with that. There's no edict, no SID. We're going to fly runway heading out of here, and we'll maintain 16,000. So we'll dial that in. 6,000. Expect 370 in 10 minutes. Departure is 119.6. That's the end of the message there. 119.6. I got that there. Here's the Boise 3 departure. Now you notice we're just doing runway heading, so we don't need that, but I circled that just so I know that I've got the right frequency on there. Or one of the other things we'll do, we'll put it in the secondary radio. So do that, 119.6, and it's another way to remind us that we have a departure frequency of 119.6 if we're not doing a star and it's not on the plate. But again, got the plate, got the frequency on the plate, frequency down there. So hopefully I don't screw it up. So that's it, guys. That's the clearance. That's the way to get it via ACARS and not CPDLC, which would be the ATC deal.
Now, have you guys seen the three ways? You know, going out of Cabo, we use old-fashioned way, clearance delivery, grabbed it from there. Actually, it was on tower frequency that we grabbed our clearance. We use CPDLC as a normal way now to grab our clearance. And here out of Boise, you know, they don't have CPDLC, but they do have PDC. And those acronyms, I'm sure someone can look it up. I don't know what those acronyms mean. It's kind of like the military. The acronym is the meaning. So anyways, that's it. I'm going to grab some ATIS and get ready to go because we are leaving here in about, we'll leave early, about 20 minutes or so. All right, guys, we will see you down there in Phoenix. So this is the last leg and then end in Phoenix. All right, guys, we are here back in Phoenix, the end of another 3-day trip. Back at Charlie 4, hour 49 minutes our block. So we got in about 20 minutes early, so it's kind of good. So yeah, we're gonna have a few days off. We do have to go back to max training on Sunday, so that's the next event for me. Fly out there late Sunday evening, and then I'll have my max training all day on Monday, fly back on Monday, and then I start a 3-day trip on Tuesday. So no rest for the wicked, they say. So anyways, hey, appreciate you guys watching. Thanks again for all the support, and we'll see you again next week.